For centuries, people imagined a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The idea of connecting these two vast bodies of water was more than just a fantasy. It was a vision that inspired explorers, merchants, and empires alike. The Isthmus of Panama, a narrow strip of land, stood in the way. It was the only thing separating ships from a direct passage, a thin barrier with enormous consequences for global trade. Ships had to brave the long, perilous journey around South America. The route around Cape Horn was infamous for its treacherous storms, unpredictable winds, and dangerous currents, costing time, cargo, and often, lives. A canal through Panama would revolutionize trade and travel. It promised to cut thousands of miles from every voyage, opening new possibilities for commerce and exploration. The idea was simple, but the land was wild. Mountains, jungles, and rivers made it seem impossible. The terrain was unforgiving, teeming with disease and danger at every turn. Early explorers and engineers dreamed and planned, but the technology just wasn't there. Their surveys and sketches hinted at what could be, but the tools of their time fell short. The dream waited for new minds, new machines, and immense courage. It would take innovation, determination, and the willingness to risk everything. The canal would save time, money, and lives, reshaping global commerce and military power. It would become a vital artery for the world's economy, changing the way nations interacted. The United States took on the challenge as the 20th century began, determined to succeed where others had failed. With ambition and resources, they set out to make the impossible possible. It was a test of human will against nature's might. Every day brought new obstacles, floods, landslides, and relentless tropical storms. The goal: carve a waterway through a continent, lift ships over mountains, and unite the world's oceans. It was a vision that demanded ingenuity and perseverance. The stakes were high: money, lives, and the promise of a new era. Every setback was costly, but the rewards promised to be even greater. The world watched as the project began. Newspapers reported every triumph and tragedy, and people everywhere wondered if the dream would finally come true. This is the story of how the Panama Canal became one of humanity's greatest engineering feats. It is a tale of vision, struggle, and ultimate triumph. A dream that demanded everything, and changed the world forever. The legacy of those who dared to dream lives on in every ship that passes through. The path between the seas was about to become real. The world would never be the same again. Picture a massive cargo ship approaching Panama's coast. Before entering the canal, a skilled Panamanian pilot boards to take command. Every ship, no matter its size, must be guided by these experts. Tugboats attach lines, keeping the vessel centered as it nears the first locks. Electric locomotives, called mules, line up on tracks beside the lock. These mules pull the ship with precision into the lock chamber. The ship faces a towering steel gate, like entering a giant water-filled garage. The mules keep the ship steady, preventing any contact with the concrete walls. Once inside, the gate closes behind, sealing the ship in. The air hums with machinery and anticipation. Crew and canal workers coordinate every move. The ship, thousands of tons, is now in the canal's powerful grip. It's a moment of transition, from open ocean to a man-made marvel. The journey through the Panama Canal has officially begun. The ship is ready to be lifted over the land. The adventure is underway. Now the magic of the locks begins. The ship sits in the first chamber at sea level, facing a higher chamber ahead. No pumps, just gravity and water from Gatun Lake. Huge valves open, and water rushes in from below, lifting the ship smoothly. It's like a water elevator, quiet, powerful, and precise. In minutes, the ship rises nearly 30 feet. The process repeats through 3 chambers, raising the ship 85 feet above sea level. The electric mules guide the ship forward at each stage. After the final chamber, the ship sails out onto Gatun Lake, high above the Atlantic. The transformation is complete ocean vessel to mountain climber. In just 2 hours, the ship has crossed a watery staircase. The locks are a triumph of engineering and imagination. The ship now glides into the heart of Panama. The ship crosses Gatun Lake, a vast man-made reservoir created by damming the Chagres River. For 24 miles, ships sail through a flooded jungle guided by buoys. The lake supplies the water that powers the locks, making it vital to the canal's operation. After the lake, the ship enters the Culebra Cut, a narrow 9-mile channel carved through Panama's mountains. This was the canal's greatest construction challenge: unstable earth, landslides, and relentless digging. Steam shovels and dynamite removed millions of cubic yards of rock. The Culebra Cut is a scar in the land, a monument to human determination. Landslides plagued the work, but engineers persevered. Today, the cut is safe and well-maintained, but its history is written in sweat and stone. The ship emerges, having crossed the continental divide. The hardest part of the journey is behind. The locks are the heart of the Panama Canal. Each chamber is a massive concrete box, 110 feet wide and 1,000 feet long. Steel gates, hollow and buoyant, open and close with electric motors. The secret is gravity. Water from Gatun Lake flows through tunnels beneath the locks. Valves open, water fills the chamber from below, and the ship rises evenly. To lower a ship, water drains out, and the vessel gently descends. A central control house manages the entire process. Every transit uses millions of gallons of fresh water, so water-saving basins now help conserve this resource. The system is simple, powerful, and sustainable. The lock's design has stood the test of time. They remain a marvel of efficiency and ingenuity. Building the Panama Canal was a saga of ambition, adversity, and relentless human determination. It was a project that would reshape global trade and connect two mighty oceans, but the journey to completion was anything but easy. The French tried first in the 1880s, led by the famed engineer Ferdinand de Lesseps, who had already built the Suez Canal. But in Panama they faced overwhelming challenges, defeated by relentless disease, deadly landslides, and financial ruin. Malaria and yellow fever spread by swarms of mosquitoes killed thousands of workers, turning the canal zone into a place of suffering and fear. The French dream collapsed, leaving behind rusting equipment, unfinished ditches, and shattered hopes that seemed impossible to revive. In 1904, the United States took over the abandoned project, determined to succeed where others had failed, and to prove the power of American ingenuity. Dr. William Gorgas led a groundbreaking campaign to wipe out disease, draining swamps, fumigating homes, and killing mosquitoes. His efforts saved countless lives and made construction possible. With health restored, American engineers shifted to a bold lock-and-lake design, working with the landscape instead of against it, and reimagining what was possible. Giant steam shovels and powerful railroads moved Earth on an unprecedented scale, carving through mountains and jungles day and night. Tens of thousands of workers from around the world, Caribbean laborers, Europeans, Americans, and more, came together and toiled for a decade in harsh, often dangerous conditions. The project became the largest construction effort of its time, a marvel of organization, engineering, and sheer willpower. Mountains were blasted apart, rivers tamed, and concrete poured by the ton, as the canal slowly took shape through sweat and sacrifice. The lock-and-lake plan proved brilliant, transforming the impossible into reality and allowing ships to cross the continent. The canal's construction was a global effort, uniting people, technology, and vision in a common cause that transcended borders. After years of struggle, innovation, and perseverance, the path between the seas was finally carved. The world's greatest shortcut was born from hardship and hope, forever changing the course of history and commerce. Today the canal stands as a testament to human resolve, ingenuity, and the ability to overcome the impossible. It was built on lessons learned from failure, the courage to try again, and the vision to see beyond the horizon. The dream was finally realized, and the world would never be the same. The Panama Canal story is written in human sacrifice. Over 25,000 workers died, many from disease, others from accidents and landslides. Laborers came from the Caribbean, Europe, Asia, and the US, seeking opportunity. Black workers from the West Indies faced the hardest jobs, lowest pay, and harshest conditions. They blasted rock, laid tracks, and endured brutal heat and danger. Landslides and dynamite accidents were constant threats. Every day was a gamble for survival. Their sacrifices built the canal, though their stories were often overlooked. The canal is more than concrete and steel. It's a memorial to those who toiled and died. Their courage and endurance made the dream possible. The human cost is an essential part of the canal's legacy. The opening of the Panama Canal in 1914 marked a turning point in world history, forever transforming the landscape of global trade and maritime travel. By providing a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the canal slashed travel time for ships, connecting the U.S. coasts and revolutionizing commerce. Suddenly, goods could move faster and at a fraction of the previous cost, fueling economic growth not just in the Americas, but across the globe. The canal quickly became a vital artery for international shipping. Today, an estimated 5% of all global sea trade passes through its locks, making it one of the busiest waterways on Earth. It reshaped shipping routes, linking Asia, Europe, and the Americas, and allowing goods and cultures to flow more freely between continents. The canal also held immense military significance, enabling the U.S. Navy to move fleets rapidly between oceans, which was crucial during times of conflict and peace alike. For decades, the United States controlled the canal, a situation that sparked both cooperation and tension with Panama, and became a symbol of national sovereignty for Panamanians. In 1999, after years of negotiation and activism, Panama finally took over full control, turning the canal into a powerful source of national pride and economic opportunity. As global trade expanded and ships grew ever larger, Panama responded by expanding the canal in 2016, adding new, bigger locks to accommodate the world's largest vessels. Now, even the massive post-Panamax ships can transit, ensuring the canal remains relevant in the modern era of shipping. The canal stands as a symbol of human innovation, engineering ambition, and the ability to overcome immense natural obstacles. Today it's not just a lifeline for world trade, but also a point of pride and identity for the people of Panama, who work tirelessly to keep it running. The canal's story is far from over. It continues to adapt, modernize, and meet new challenges as global demands evolve. Its impact on the world remains as powerful and far-reaching as ever, touching lives and economies on every continent. The spirit of vision, determination, and progress that built the canal still drives its future, ensuring its legacy endures for generations to come. The Panama Canal is more than a shortcut. It's a symbol of human achievement. Against all odds, people conquered mountains, jungles, and disease. The lock and lake system was a stroke of genius, lifting ships over land. The victory over yellow fever and malaria was a turning point in public health. The canal's design has endured for over a century, a model of smart engineering. It's a story of courage, innovation, and teamwork across nations and disciplines. Every ship that passes through honors the dreamers, builders, and laborers who made it possible. The canal united oceans, and proved humanity can overcome the impossible. It stands as a monument to vision, resilience, and the power of the human spirit. The Panama Canal changed the world, and continues to inspire it. Its legacy endures, a marvel for generations to come.